There are three possible reasons that you're unhappy in your job. The first reason could be that your personality is severely incompatible with your job or the industry that you're working in, something that I've covered in this video up here. The second reason for your feeling of emptiness at work is that you have a bullshit job. And the third reason could be that you've become a casualty of digitalization. And these are all the dangers of modern jobs. So are you saying that back then everything was better? No, not at all. We've experienced so many improvements in the past few decades that make our work and our lives so much easier. But what is a modern day job? What I mean by modern day jobs are jobs in the post-industrialized era characterized by a shift from manufacturing to services economy, in which most of us no longer work with our hands or feet, but with our intellect, causing us to be in our heads most of the time. Modern jobs are often part of complicated organizations with long chains of command, mind-boggling workflows and approval processes, ever-changing priorities, and company strategies. Not all, but many modern jobs are bullshit jobs that lead to nothing. To carry out modern jobs, you, employees, are 100% dependent on digital tools. Modern employees sit in front of their laptops or stuck to their gadgets 99% of the time, causing you to slowly merge with them and becoming a cyborg.
We're already a cyborg. I mean, you have a digital version of yourself or partial version of yourself online in the form of your emails and your social media and all the things that you do.
Modern day jobs are not all bad, but have many pitfalls that, if you're not careful, can make you deeply unhappy and screw up your life. So are you at risk? Is your job robbing you of your happiness? Do you have a bullshit job? What is it and how does it affect you? You might have seen the term bullshit job somewhere on the internet. Bullshit jobs, a term popularized by an anthropologist, David Graeber, in his book Bullshit Jobs, A Theory, are meaningless jobs that cause societal harm. And I'd argue harm your sanity and your happiness. David Graeber found that over half of societal work is pointless. So I'm sorry to break the news that there's at least a 50% chance that your job is pointless as well. And here's one very insightful realization that he made. We have benefited from automation, become much more productive, and if economist John Maynard Keynes' prediction had become true, this would have resulted in happy 15-hour work weeks for most of us. But obviously that hasn't happened. Instead of using the time savings to allow people to have more work-life balance, more work has been created. So work that perhaps doesn't need to exist but was just created for its own sake. Many of these jobs, David Graeber explains, are so pointless, unnecessary, and pernicious, quote, that even the employee cannot justify its existence, even though as part of the conditions of employment, the employee feels obliged to pretend that this is not the case. If you have a bullshit job and pretend it's not one, then may God help you. But hopefully you have not crossed the line into delusion and can see your job for what it is. So how to break free from this unhappiness? It's not as difficult as you may think. Here's an easy start. See your job for what it is and don't make any excuses for it. Do not overvalue parts of your job that aren't that important, like title and prestige.